Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Vanessa and you are watching the Exploring Oracle or the Exploracle for short. So today I'm really excited to take a look at this deck. This is the Crystal Magic Tarot. It says manifest your dreams with the power of crystals and the wisdom of tarot, created by Carrie Ward and Claire Gregory. So this is what the box looks like. It's quite a big box, quite a big package. It's published by O, and you can pause here if you want to read the text in the back, but it says, this dynamic, potent deck will empower you to navigate the universe, take charge of your life, and manifest your ideal future. What are you waiting for? Okay, so it's published by O Editions. Okay, so let's open it up, and then you have here the guidebook, pretty sizable guidebook, and you have the cards here in this two-part compartment, which I am not a fan of. Probably my least favorite packaging, but it is what it is. So before we take a look at the cards, let's take a look at the guidebook. So this is the Crystal Magic Tarot Guidebook. You have here a table of contents, an introduction. Okay, let's see. How the crystals work with tarot. And then you have the page numbers for each of the majors. And then the minor arcana, some manifesting crystal spreads. Sorry, my camera is not focusing. Tarot crystal spreads, depending on your intention. Looking after your crystals. Using crystals to make your dreams using the crystal tarot to make your dreams a reality. And a quick reference and correspondences for the major arcana. So you have here an introduction, how the crystals work with tarot. So there's a lot of information that you can get here. And if you take a look at the page for each of the majors, you have here a full page image. And then you have a talisman, the interpretation, correspondences. You also have people represented, an affirmation associated with the card, and a crystal aligned with the card. For the chariot, it's pyrite. So this is really very interesting for me because as I only have two collections at this time, and it's crystals and tarot. And I've been to crystals long before I started working with tarot or learning about tarot. But my collection has grown rapidly during the time that I started working with tarot. And I just wanted to show you as well what it looks like for each of the minors. So it's the same as the majors, but you only just have the thumbnail of the picture together with the talisman, the interpretation, and all of this information, which is really awesome. Then you have some spreads here. Your talisman. So I can't wait to get into this. I mean, this is the deck that I'm most excited to work with next year. And that's because it's a mix of two of my favorites, crystals and tarot. Okay, so let's take a look at the cards. And again, this type of packaging is not my favorite. Because even though you have these thumbnails here to help you get the cards, you still need to tilt it to get it. And if you'll notice, whenever you have these in a separated container, it doesn't line up perfectly compared to if it's just one deck or if it's just in one container. So this is just, I haven't shuffled this yet, I haven't used this, and you can already see, that it's not perfectly even, and you can really see the delineation where one deck starts and where the other ends, where one deck ends and where the other begins. Anyway, the cardstock is glossy. It is glossy. It is a little bit thin, but not too bad. I mean, it's not papery or anything like that. These are the backs. They are not reversible for those that shuffle in reversals. Okay, so let me just zoom in and let's take a look at all of the cards one by one. Okay, so let's start with the Fool, a really cute Fool. And you'll notice at the bottom of the card, there is always an associated crystal, and that goes all the way up to the minors. So there's really a lot of effort that was put in to be able to get an associated crystal for each of the cards. So feel free to slow down, speed up, or pause if you want to take a closer look at the cards. I usually go through the flip throughs a bit quickly. Interesting. So the art style is, I wasn't sure if I would be drawn to it because I can't categorize it into a particular art style. It feels kind of collagey, which I'm not really a big fan of. The colors are really bright and nice though, which I like. There are a lot of nature-based elements on the deck. It can get a little bit pippish, just for those. It's not completely a pip deck, definitely, but there are some cards that tend to look like that. And yeah, I forgot to mention, it does seem like, I don't know. I'm trying to see if the borders mean anything. The color of the borders mean anything. Like if the discs, since it's earth, that's why it's a bit green, but in the quartz, you'll see that it's a little bit blue. And in the Queen of Coins, it's black. So, I don't know. I don't think that's, there's any particular meaning on the borders or the colors. It would have been nice, though, if they did that. Although here, in the swords, the first 3 cards are white, which would make sense since swords are associated with the element of air, and then you have the 4 of swords that's a different color. I don't know, that's kind of throwing me off a bit about this deck. It's not really changing how excited I am to work with it, but yeah, and maybe it's I have to check the book later if it means anything or if there's any significance to the color or the borders. And if there's none, then I think it was a wasted opportunity to also, let's say you have all of the wands is like a fiery color, which some decks do. I do love the diversity in the deck. So diversity is not something I look for specifically when I buy decks, but it is very much appreciated, and I do love it when I see it in the decks that I purchased. This Ten of Wands feels watery because of the colors, because of the mermaid. I don't know. Then we have here the cup suit. This is a very pretty 2 of Cups. There are some cards that I really, really like and resonate with. Some I'm just okay with. But I think that most decks, people do have their favorite cards. They have their, cards that don't resonate as much. I mean, it's just, it's probably impossible to have all 78 cards speak to you or resonate with you. Well, maybe not impossible, but difficult. This image for the Queen of Cups. Oh no, I think it's mostly for the 4 of Swords. Usually, like resting or having a relaxing day. I do like having an image relaxing on the bathtub. It's a very easy image for me to connect with. And then you have a King of Cups. Right, so I zoomed out and then let's see how this deck shuffles. So again, you can see where one pile begins and where another pile ends. Let's see if shuffling will make it a more cohesive pile. So I like how it shuffles really well. I did mention that the cardstock is a little bit on the thinner side, but now that I'm shuffling it, it doesn't seem so thin. So yeah, as far as riffle shuffling goes, bridging, it shuffles pretty well. I think I want to edge this deck. Yeah. Okay, so it does get a little bit of a bow. I don't know how, if this cardstock would hold up really well, but so far no issues. No issues with shuffling it, no issues with side shuffling. It doesn't feel sticky, even though it's a glossy cardstock. And as always, we will be shuffling and see, okay, if a card wants to be read, and you have the Tower. Alright, so there's a lot of text on the guidebook with for each of the cards, so let me just put it in here so that you can pause and read it if you like. But I will be reading the talisman. It says here, I want to transform this challenge into opportunity. And the interpretation. The Tower brings collapse, shocking revelations, endings, and major wake-up calls. All this sounds difficult and challenging, and initially it may be, but events always unfold to a good reason, which in hindsight you will come to understand. The Tower serves a purpose to remove the false, fading, or negative energy from your life so you can rebuild on firmer foundations. Acknowledge that whatever has been lost was already on its way out, and the universe has done you a favor by getting rid of it more quickly. Now you can focus on the future and the possibilities this space provides. As an attitude or approach, the Tower tells you to stand tall, face the facts, let reality be reality, and take it from there. Breathe, refocus, recalibrate, and rebuild. On the shadow side, the Tower warns of destructiveness, brute force, or sabotage. Something or someone has an agenda that is not in your best interest, or you may even unwittingly be the agent of self-destruction in your own life. Be careful. And I'll also read for you the crystal aligned with this card, which is black tourmaline. So black tourmaline can help you deflect negative energy coming at you back to its source. Traditionally used as a psychic shield by magicians, this crystalline black hole will suck in bad vibes and act as a cloak to stop negative people finding and feasting on your energy. Super grounding and protective, black tourmaline is useful in any situation where you feel unsafe and untethered. So I really like this guidebook because aside from the usual interpretation that you get, and I didn't even read the other parts, the correspondences, the people represented and all that, and the affirmation, you have this note about the crystal and what it's for, which is really great for somebody who loves crystals like me. And even though I've been collecting crystals for over 2 decades, maybe more, but yeah, I still find this guidebook really interesting, and I like most of the images in this deck. I am still really very much excited to work with this. It is a mass market deck. I got this from Amazon, so it is readily accessible. And yeah, some of the images are really, really gorgeous. So this is the flip through of the Crystal Magic Tarot. If you like it, please don't forget to click on the like button and do consider subscribing to my channel. I post videos at least once a week, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!